Alright then, I don't really know how to start with that one. First of all, let's say, first things first, important 3 points. It wasn't really deserved 3 points. We didn't deserve anything out of that game, and we were very, very fortunate not to give away a penalty as well with that Andre Onana situation right in the match. But we move on. Very, very fortunate to get all 3 points, and we need to build on that now. 3 points at Old Trafford is never something to be sniffed on, especially with the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea dropping points. It's something we can keep going. Just hopefully we improve upon that, and we need to going into Tottenham on Saturday, as Tottenham are no slouches, especially not now under Ange Postecoglou. They're going to be a good side. They're going to be looking to play out from the back, but this isn't the Tottenham preview. Let's go what actually happened in that match. We're going to start off here. This was the two starting lineups. As I thought, I got 10 out of 11 on each team. Oops, that's a mistake there. That one. Forgot to change that one. There you go. 1 second there. So they had what looked to be like a 4-4-2 or a 4-4-1-1. They had their main man up top, Cunha, who was a little less as a target man than I thought than I said they were going to have. I thought they were going to have Sasha Kalajic, who did come on in the end, but they had Matthias Cunha, who just ran the whole time, created loads of chances for them. I think it was like him or Neto created the most chances in the game of 4. Let me have a quick look at that one. Let's have a quick look. Matthias Cunha. Doesn't say on there. Let's have a look on this one. Sorry, this is great viewing, isn't it? Matthias Cunha. And I created 1 chance. It was Neto that created 4 chances. Yeah, Matthias Cunha was very, very, very busy. Created 1 chance as well. Had a few chances of his own. And yeah, all in all, Wolves were a good side. It's nothing to be sniffed at. I said before that we need to be careful when we are going against them, because we don't really know what to expect out of them. And we expected, for some reason, we went for quite a wide formation. We went for it looks like this on paper, but in actuality, Rash was a bit higher, Mount was a bit higher, Bruno was a bit higher, and then these two dropped in. It was a bit more of a 4-1-4-1 in the end for some reason. We went for that. I think it was to try and counteract in that midfield battle, but Bruno and Mount ended up operating far too high. So if we were to actually have a look at average positions, it was more like this, to be honest. So we had Mount was up here, Bruno was up here, Garnacho was out wide, and then we had this flat back 4 in the average positions, with Casemiro just in front. I've got a graphic that I can show that for in a minute, but let's just operate off this one. And then obviously Onana's a bit higher because it's Onana. And then they looked to exploit that by going Neto. Was going to go 1-on-1 with Luke Shaw, and at times gambled that he played in this half space here, in which allowed that ball, because the space really, as you can probably tell, let's go for that one. The space was that ball in behind. That's not a straight line, but we'll take it. Space was that ball for Neto in behind, just to run onto. He's got pace. He's very, very, very good. He's got good technical ability, which allowed his teammates to run off of him. And yeah, he gambled, and then they played very, very, very narrow and continued to have that low to mid block, which I thought they would do. They had this back 4, which was a bit of a flat back 4. Like I said, if I go have a look, this is the average positions for the match. So you can see their flat back 4 there. If I was to do a little graphic, there you go. So you can see there, they have a flat back 4. We had a flat back 4 with Casemiro just in front. And then this is where we struggled. That there. They played what seemed to be with Cunha dropping a little bit deeper, with Sarabia playing as that second striker, but he again operated very narrow. It created a 5v3 in midfield. They had the numbers, they played very narrow, which allowed them to then build off of that and then expand wider because they created so much space for themselves. We gambled far too much in terms of, we thought that Wolves were going to be a bit of a walkover, we thought they were going to sit, we thought they were going to build slowly. That didn't happen. We're used to Wolves liking to keep the ball in midfield when they had the likes of Jean Moutinho or Ruben Neves, but that isn't the case anymore. They're a very quick transition team, as we saw from Gary O'Neill from Bournemouth last season, in which case he used the likes of Solanke to hold up the ball, operate in their central spaces. He liked to pack that midfield and then breaking off wide with the likes of Dango Huatara and people like that. And we saw the same thing with Wolves. Neto is a little bit of an outlier here in terms of the fact that he gambled, but they used his quality and the fact that Luke Shaw does have to operate that little bit higher, where we saw him at times operating in that inverted DM role and then pushing a little bit wider as well. He just wasn't getting on the ball enough, especially in the wide areas, which Shaw, Alejandro Garnacho isolated far too much, which made him struggle. It wasn't really the game for Garnacho. As you can see, it's a flat back four, and there just wasn't enough space for him at all. We see, in terms of the average positions, they didn't consider Rashford too much of a threat, because Rashford does have to push out wide, but he doesn't like to have the ball into feet. So they had that flat back four, which sat fairly deep, so that they can just stop the balls from going behind. And if you have a look in terms of where Garnacho is, if I was to draw a straight line, Garnacho there is operating perfectly in between Max Kilman. Was it Max Kilman? I think it was Craig Dawson that side. Between Craig Dawson and Nelson Semedo, they doubled up on our wingers. And they just had no room in order to just do anything. You can tell from these average positions here that literally Garnacho lines up perfectly there. Anthony lines up perfectly there. And he had Mario Lemina, I think it was number 5. Yeah, Mario Lemina was doing that job on Marcus Rashford. And we had a very frustrating night. We just couldn't get the ball into Rashford. We couldn't feed him at all. And in the end, we got fortunate. We definitely didn't deserve anything out of the game. Like I said, they were probably the better side. They created more chances than we did. We had a better XG than we did. But 3 points is 3 points. Like I said, I'm going to go into this in more detail either tomorrow or on Wednesday when I get more of a chance to look over the game, because I've only seen it once like you guys have. But this is basically what I've noticed. We played far too wide. We played too expansive at times in terms of Bruno and Mount were too congested. They just operated in the wrong areas. Wolves packed the midfield. We couldn't win that battle. They won every 50-50, and they built off of that. They just couldn't take their chances. Andre Onana had a good game. He controlled his box very well. His distribution was decent. We saw a few different ping balls out wide. Anthony was wasteful at times, but was dangerous as well. Garnacho was a bit better in terms of he was good off the ball, but again, very wasteful and didn't really create too much. Had a few pot shots, but nothing really to write home about. Rashford was starved of service, didn't really do anything, and when he did, it was a bit too rushed because he's just not used to playing that role and doesn't want to be there. So, all in all, we need Højlund, we need an out-and-out 9, a few more things to work on, and also based off this, Wolves should be okay for this season in terms of Gary O'Neill is a very good manager and they have some good players there. If we're going to learn anything from this game, it's thank God we got 3 points and we've got 5 days to figure out what didn't go well and how to fix it before we play Tottenham. But yeah, like I said, I'll come back, I'll do another video in a couple of days' time. I'll go over some more graphics, I'll go over a bit more tactical detail, and we'll see what goes from there. Alright, peace.